AITA for telling my wife to give me space and stop talking about sex often because my brother-in-law passed away last year? My wife, 32F, and I, 33M, have been married for 5 years now. Prior to last year, we both had a very high libido and we had sex almost daily. However, my libido drastically decreased last year when my brother-in-law passed away. Growing up, my sister, 31F, and I were raised in a physically abusive household, and it was horrible. Our dad didn't hesitate to lay hands on both of us, especially me because I would try and punch him and fight him when he was laying hands on my sister. Overall it was messed up and I'm glad we survived. We have now cut off contact with both our parents. One consequence of our childhood was that it led to some enmeshment issues because my sister had a hard time trusting anyone, and so she became reliant on me. So when my sister met her boyfriend at college, I was really happy because she really adored him and he was a very nice guy. Their wedding was awesome. So when my sister called me in tears last year to tell that her husband passed away, I felt numb and I also felt sick. I couldn't process it. The funeral was really painful. My wife was very understanding and I was really thankful to have her by my side. Over the past year, my sister has been calling me often. We live in different states, so we do a video call. I recommended an online grief therapist and that really seems to have helped her as she's coping with the grief. She sometimes calls me at random times in the night in tears and it just breaks my heart, but being on the call with her calms her down. So a consequence of all of the above, my libido has drastically decreased. The first couple of months after my Bill passed away, my wife and I barely had sex, but it gradually increased again, and now we have sex once a week. But I can't do more than that. My wife has been asking me a few times if we could increase the frequency, and I always tell her that I just need some time, and maybe in the future. Right now, I consider sex more as a task and as a duty, and I try and make it as enjoyable for my wife as possible. But I can't get into it more than once a week because I feel guilty about sex the next day. Last night, my wife again asked me about sex even though we had sex a couple of days ago, and I told her to just stop talking about sex and give me space. Was I the